And, of course, it's all brought to you by 6D Helmets, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. Welcome to your Racer X First Look. This is Spring Creek. We call it Millville, really, when you talk Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. I'm Jason Weigandt, and I got a partner, Kellen Brauer from Racer X, helping me out. We're bringing people back to the races here, not just big fans, but more media. So that makes my life a lot easier. This is the famous Whoop section of Millville. It's your first visit here. I know you've probably mapped the game out a million times on the video game. We give you a brief taste. Can you sense why people think Millville is so legendary as you walk the facility?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. I mean, the hillsides just stacked with the trees. You got the track running in and out of the trees. It definitely does seem like Moto Heaven when you come here. But, I mean, I'm a little surprised that I don't see whoops right here right now. What's going on with that, you know?
Yeah. We had some spectators run up and say, you can't walk into the whoops because there are no whoops. They're flat. Then we had like a guy racing 50-plus vet. He's like, trust me, there's whoops, don't you know? Okay? So right now, what we do see is this big single jump. You and I were chatting with Jeremy Martin earlier. What did Jeremy say is the worst thing for him to deal with a wrist injury and a hand injury?
Yeah, he definitely hates jumping too flat right now. He doesn't want to have to do some hard landings. Says it really is just kind of jarring right at the wrist joint there.
Yeah.
So gonna have to launch the flat at least a couple times, it seems like, because this wall jump is not quite as walled out as it may seem.
Thanks, Dad, for building a single for your son who's hurting over single jumps. We will talk about the Martin brothers. They are both back this weekend. We'll talk to Alex actually in the show. I also get to catch up with Justin Brayton, which is great. But as amateur riders go by on these sweet sounds of two strokes, let's talk 450 class. Dylan Ferrandis, I don't know what they can throw at the guy at this point that's going to throw him off. Maybe the only thing left is if the second moto Eli Tomac races both motos. Maybe that's the one thing that can stop Ferrandis.
Yeah, for some reason, Eli Tomac really is only showing up in those second motos. So if he can see him come out in the first moto swinging like we've seen him in those second motos, that might be Dylan kryptonite moving into the second half of this season.
And we saw it in the interviews. We posted on RaceX Online this week. Even Ferrandis said, if my bike was okay, I might have gone after Roczen. But even he did not feel he had anything for Tomac in Moto2 at our last race.
Yeah, Tomac was definitely on another level. And, I mean, Ferrandis had started with him, so he would get a pretty good indication of what Tomac was capable of. And as soon as he saw him sprinting away, he said, no chance.
Okay, so we're waiting on that. Maybe the 1-1 from Tomac. Ken Roczen's still in it mathematically in the points, but he really needs to start getting them back on Ferrandis. And then we still have this field of guys. Okay, we're waiting on, say, Barsha stepped up. He did get a podium in the last race. Cooper Webb was better, but it's still just top 5. Adam Cianciarulo struggling. Chase Sexton not where he wants to be. Marvin Musquin not where he wants to be. It's so weird. I could not see a playbook that would get us to a predictable 450 class this year, but here we are. Ferrandis has won all but one race, starting to march away in points. I'm shocked that it turned out this way. I should have known better.
And I think it's a bunch of players we didn't expect to turn out this way. We talked a lot about Roczen at the beginning of the year, how down he was on his thoughts and the performance coming into the season. And Ferrandis, a true rookie to the class. I mean, he is older, he's got more experience, but still, we didn't see these two guys definitely running away at the front like this.
Yeah, we had some data on Ferrandis from Supercross. It was good, but it certainly wasn't winning all the races level. So it's really turned around, and that makes it exciting. We'll see if the script will flip, but right now Ferrandis definitely in control. Ryder's about to come back around. What we want to do is our man Tommy Tenders here of Team Fried got some really cool footage after the race. First, Tomac trying to figure out if he got a podium last week after the bad first moto. And then really cool, the Lawrence brothers after Hunter got the 1-1 being embraced by his brother Jet, who gave a lot of points to his brother in the standings. Pretty cool to see these interactions after the motos.
You know this corner pretty steep. I think it's only 4 overall. Yeah, I think Barsha got it. Barsha got Webb and that swapped it. I was cheering for Webb. Yeah. They did swap it? Yeah. Barsha got it, man. How's it going, buddy? How's it going? Thanks, buddy. You too, man.
Oh, this is spectacular. It is awesome. It is great. I have found the great Justin Brayton here, but not race ready, not coming out to go 1-1 it. I would love to see it.
I don't think we're race ready.
Okay, all right. No 30+2ing it.
We got about 18 hours to get ready?
Yes.
I have rode a few times.
All right, all right.
But I don't think we're national ready.
So you're here just as a spectator?
Yeah, I love it. This is close to home, or I guess our second home.
Second
we got
home.
A place in
Original
Iowa,
home.
where I grew up.
Yep.
And so yeah, we're back there for the summer. Millville's about 3 hours. Grew up racing here, and I love it. I love everything moto, Supercross, motocross, all of it. So watch it every Saturday from start to finish. And you're crushing it, Weege. You're absolutely killing it.
We've been okay. We've made a few mistakes, unlike you. We're not as solid as you. But as a fan, the 450 motos, especially at the beginning of the season, we're starting to see a pattern develop. But it has to be just amazing. I know that's what I feel watching it, when you see how deep this field is and, this guy's in 8th? How's that possible?
It is crazy. And honestly, it's no different than Supercross. Like I look at or think about Supercross not that long ago, a short time ago, I was on the podium at round 2, and I look at the results, I'm like, it seems like a lifetime ago. But that's just the way the class is. Like it's so crazy right now. I say it every year. It gets deeper and deeper. And I've been in the class now for 11 years. It's my 11th year in Supercross. And it just continues to get deeper and deeper and deeper. And now watching this summer, honestly, it's incredible. Like you see really, really good riders in 11th, and they can't do anything about it. Yeah. So maybe that's good. Sit on the sidelines. Yeah,
you're fine.
I'm enjoying sitting on the sidelines for sure.
Okay. Okay, Dylan Ferrandis, that is a story. This is impressive. Look, you raced him in Supercross. He was good, but not like this. And honestly, they've thrown everything at him, and he's come up aces in every scenario. It's impressive.
I can't believe it. Just the main thing is, obviously, you talk about the starts all the time.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to come from behind and win and to pass all these guys.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, can he do it with a whole shot? Like, does he tighten up or does he not? Well, then he just pulls a bigger lead.
Yes.
That, to me, was more impressive than coming from the back, because when you're coming from the back, it's like you're just going off instincts. You're not really thinking, and all of a sudden it's like he would even say on the podium, like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Right.
But then you get the points lead, and then you get a whole shot, and it's like, okay, I expect, now that I'm in the lead on lap 1, I have to win this race.
Yeah.
And he did. Like, it was really impressive. So to do what he's doing, I mean, he's making it look pretty easy, but it's very, very difficult. Yeah,
because he's battling Ken Roxon and Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb and all.
The list goes on, right?
And the 250 class, okay, I really thought, I'm like, okay, Jet Lawrence has kind of got this in control. He's managing the bad motors. They're not that bad. It's kind of spilled too far the other direction, the way I see it. The door is now open, and there's like 5 guys that are like, no, I can win this title. I can win these races. That one has become more wide open than it looked like at the beginning of the year, I feel.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, he still is obviously there, and I think Millville this weekend is a huge race for him. I really do, because if you let Hunter go 1-1 or even 3-1 or something and get the overall again, it's like, you know, he's ready to kick the little brother down, right?
Yep.
And then Justin Cooper is obviously there. I feel like those 3, that the championship's going to come from those 3. But if you let a guy like RJ or these other guys start winning motos, it can quickly turn into a big points deficit. I mean, I think of like Kennard. And not sure exactly what year that was, but he started getting on a run like halfway through the year. No one was talking about him at the beginning of the year. So if you let a guy get on a run, there's a lot of points up for grabs here.
Yes.
I mean, and if somebody starts going 1-1, you can really gain some points on the other guys.
I'm glad you brought that Kennard year up. So we have had 5 winners in 5 rounds. Previously, we'd had 4 and 4 a couple of times. We've never had 5. The year Kennard won the title in 2010, we had 4 winners in the first 4 rounds. Kennard wasn't even one of them. And then he went to win the title. So it just shows what can happen if you let somebody get on a run. Last thing is Millville. You race her growing up. You race her as a pro. Everybody seems to love this track. So talk about what's so cool about it and why people like it so much.
Yeah, I honestly think, and I've said it for a long time, I think it's the best track on the circuit as far as just the track. For a variety of reasons, but the main one is there's such a variety. You have sand, you have hard packed, you have big jumps, which all of us riders love. You have really good dirt, you have hills, elevation. Like, it really just says, of all the good tracks, like if you think about Redbud or some other favorite tracks throughout the tour, you have all that here as well.
Yes.
You just kind of mix them all together. And I just think the facility is great. So all of it, I think, is really, really cool. And I used to love coming here. I mean, not just because it was, you know, my family would come and everything, but for the track, it's incredible. Yeah,
pretty much all the riders circle it as one of the best, if not the best. It's great to me because Justin Brayton was here. So that's an awesome racetrack. All right, we're going to give you more stuff from our press conference, and then we'll catch up with Alex Martin.
You know, obviously I get a really good vibe on Southwick, but like, honestly, I expected this to happen last week and it just wasn't meant to be. We weren't ready for that, I guess. But yeah, I definitely enjoy the fans there. They cheer me on hard, but we had a whole new settings this week, and the bike worked really good, and I felt really good, and it all worked good together. Yeah, so I was happy. But yeah, the track, I love this track and love the fans, so that doesn't hurt anything.
The team asked me like 4 laps before the end to slow down and to just secure this P3. And I was not really listening. I wanted to go back to the front and try to pass Ken, but yeah, at the end, yeah, they were so pushing for me to slow down that I had no choice to listen and to do it. So for sure was safer, I think, for the bike, but we kind of don't know. Like, we don't really know the 450, what can we do with it, and we don't know how far we can go in that condition. So yeah, I was for sure frustrated because of me, because of not leaving everything out on the track. The past few races, I gave everything I had, and this race I was just I had a pretty easy first moto, and second moto I just couldn't push to the end. So yeah, it's happening. The good thing is I got the overall, so that's the most important.
Yeah, Moto 2 is, the second moto has like been great. I look back at the last 3 weeks, I'm just like, what's going on in Moto 1, and I haven't totally figured it out yet, other than maybe it's a little bit of start position, but for the past 2 weeks. But this week there was no excuse. I started almost in the same spot in Moto 2 and was able to come through people. So I don't know. I made a little bike change between 1 and 2 today, but it, like I was talking to people earlier, I'm like, I don't know if it really did all of that. So got to figure something out. Maybe a little bit of start position, and at least I'm getting one of those wins in there. But the way I've been riding the second moto, like, I'm like, dang, I want that overall, but Moto 1's not cutting it. So got to figure it out.
Well, we've done it. We've not only found one of the Martin brothers, but more importantly, we found the legendary house that everyone talks about when we say they literally live here on the property. So, Tom, I don't even know if you're up for this, but I'm going to make you pan to show the house. And then, Alex Martin, you can explain, literally, when you were born, this was the house your parents lived in, so this is where you came home as a baby. Right?
Correct, Weege. Yes. So my parents bought Millville in '88. I was born in '89, in the fall of '89. I basically lived here from 0 to 20s, probably, 18 years old. And then I turned pro at 18, so that's when I went to California and started the whole circus tour.
And you occasionally come back, but when you said you were staying in the property, we thought, well, that means you're here, so we're literally knocking on the door. But no, there's like a troll house on the property. Yeah,
there's a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath by the gate. We try and keep it under wraps.
Okay.
It gets a little chaotic at times, but yeah, my wife and I, we came up for May. We came up for the summer in May, just to be up here and train with my brother during the summer and just enjoy the Minnesota winters.
And then I got derailed, because I'm sure the plan was that you'd be racing all summer, and then we thought we had lost you. So how are you doing this? 26 days or something?
Yep. So I was on the bike 26 days. It was just a corner track. So at this point in time, I have 6 days on the bike. I've done a couple mock-up moto days, like a couple 35s in there. Feel it out. I've been running, cycling. I've been doing gym. But yeah, it hasn't even been 6 weeks yet. Pretty wild. So I think a big piece of the puzzle was I was able to get in for surgery that day in Colorado. Because it was a compound and they were worried about infection. So they had surgery that day. I was home on Sunday, and I was doing therapy Monday morning.
Wow. So even the difference seeing Monday, if you had done it Monday, would have been a big difference probably.
Right. Like I was 4 days out of surgery when I saw McAdoo was just going in for surgery for his knee at Paula the week before. So I do think that really expedited the process for sure.
Okay, obviously that's awesome that you're back to ride, but do you have any idea? Like, are you like, nah, I can do 30 plus 2, no problem, or might it be a problem?
I don't. We'll see. Okay. I'm just riding this weekend. Just with the way the year's been, I've felt really good. I've had good vibes. Preseason, Supercross, preseason outdoors. Things have not gone to plan. The troll train has been derailed several times. So we're just riding this weekend. We're enjoying the process. When I was in the hotel or when I was in the hospital in Colorado, I was like, God, I'm gonna miss Millville. And I've never missed Millville since I turned pro.
Wow.
So this will be my 13th time here. So I definitely was like, that was a big motivator for me getting back to this one. There's a lot that goes into this one. The friends, the family, I grew up here. So pretty excited, pretty grateful that we're able to make it happen.
You would have been so bummed, because obviously you would have been here. You would have been watching. You would have been so bummed, I'm sure, if that happened.
Yeah, even like 3 weeks ago, I was doing some riding schools here, trolltraining.com. Okay. And I was like, they were asking me, like, are you going to race? And I'm like, I don't know. But like I said, like, the process was for sure expedited by the quick surgery and all that. So pretty excited that we're making it happen.
Now, let me ask this about having this house on the property and living here. Like, we're only here when there's hustle and bustle. It's a big event, and it seems all crazy. What is it like the other 51 weekends of the year? Maybe there's another big race or two. How desolate, how quiet is it? Is it just like farm life, like anyone else would have, or is it pretty weird to be this far out?
Yeah.
You're pretty far out.
Why do you think I'm such a weirdo?
Oh, is that what it is? Well, Phil Nicoletti always says he's socially awkward.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
is that why?
Growing up in the sticks. No, it depends. So in the wintertime, obviously, everything shuts down.
Yes.
In the summertime, my parents have local races. They have hare scrambles.
Yeah.
There's, I think, like 12 or 15 events throughout the summer.
Okay.
So there is very much a lot going on. There's people that are coming down, weed whacking, mowing. There's a lot of track work to do. There's a lot of upkeep with the facility.
You have to do some of that?
A little bit. My dad's been joking, but I think he's been pretty easy on me this summer about weed whacking.
What about
But
the
actually,
kid days, though?
so growing up,
Yes.
my dad would pay us like $1.50 an hour, and we would weed whack everything you see behind us. Those were our chores, and we got paid $1.50. So it was it's a very physically demanding job to be here maintaining this facility.
So someone was here in like the Jeremy McGrath, Jeff Emig days, and they didn't know there were these two little kids walking around who'd be like future superstars.
Yeah.
No one knew. They were just workers.
Well, I mean, I remember being here in '97, watching Ricky do a can and doing his brains out down the downhill. I mean, those were like some of my childhood memories, like seeing Fro in the all-black gear in '98, psyching out the competition,
Yes, in the heat.
Like, those are a lot of my memories, so it's pretty cool.
You never know what random kid with a weed whacker might actually be a pro racer. And how often did you ride? That's my last thing. So literally these sand whoops are right there. Mm-hmm. Did you ride it like all the time, or is it one of those, no, it's not as easy as you think, even though the track's in the yard?
So actually, a lot of people don't know this, but we have a track up on top of the hill, and that's where Jeremy and I do a lot of our training. Just because the upkeep on the pro track is a lot harder.
Yeah.
So we actually do have a practice track up top. We have a corner track, and we can really do a lot of our motos up there. And it's very much, you're kind of at the mercy of the weather too. If it's dry, it's very marbly and dusty, and it's hard to have that intensity when it's dry. So that track up top allows us to kind of control our program a little bit better.
As kids, were you out here though a lot, or not as much as people would think?
A little bit, but I mean, when it's not your job and you're on a 65 and 85, like, you kind of just wait for the weekends to go ride. Yeah, like, I don't know, we rode a little bit here or there, but there was no structure. It was for fun.
You even told me that your parents weren't even all in on the racing thing. Like, they weren't even encouraged, they weren't pushing you to be a pro racer.
No, not at all.
It's hard to believe.
My dad told a friend of mine, he's like, my kids will never be professional motocross racers. Like, he was pretty adamant about it, because he himself raced hare scrambles in the 80s, and he was injured a lot, and he knew, like, the sacrifices and the, the things that you'll miss out on and the injuries, and he didn't want that for us. But, I mean, what do you expect when you have this in your backyard,
Good job, Dad.
So.
It's the opposite of what I think people think is like, he had this house here and he was grooming the two greatest riders of all time. That was not his goal. That's not why he was doing it.
Right.
For any racetrack.
Yeah, but I mean, it happened regardless, so.
Yeah. They're pros. Sorry, John. All right, we'll get to some more stuff as we recap last week's race at Southwick. And just good to see you back.
Thanks, Weege. It's good to see you.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Amazing to talk to Justin Brayton and Alex Martin, too. Jason and Kellen back here. Let's talk 250s. As I alluded to with Brayton, okay, look, I think I'm smart. I think I know things. At the beginning of the season, I'm like, let's see if Jeremy Martin is hurt and Jet Lawrence has been doing well and he's consistent and we know Justin Cooper is going to be good. I think it's just those guys. They just all we got left. Well, I'm wrong. Jet Lawrence wins the opener. He hasn't won since. 5 winners in 5 rounds, which is a record. It's turned crazy, dude.
And there's still opportunity for more winners. We could see Joe Shimoda get in there. We could see the Martin brothers come out this weekend. It seems like this class, even though we had so many graduates in the class, there's still all this parity because someone's trying to be like the who's next of the class.
Right.
And it's interesting because it doesn't seem like there's any really clear favorite coming in every weekend. Anybody could come out and win today.
Yeah, and I think Jet, to me, and this, I could be wrong, which I often am, I feel like he's trying so hard in the consistency thing. Don't have a bad moto. Don't blow it. Don't be the 17-year-old that throws it away. That when he salvages a third and a fourth, that's good on paper, but it's allowing guys like Hampshire or Swole or now his brother to be like, hey, I'm the fastest guy now. I'm winning races. And as you know, it's all about confidence. We're going to have 6 guys at least on the gate saying tomorrow's my day. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of these guys that have already got a win under their belt thinks that they are the guy coming into this weekend. And all these guys that haven't got a win yet think that it's still blown wide open for them. So anybody coming into tomorrow's race that thinks they can't win, it's been proven wrong so far. We've already got 5 different winners. So a 6th winner could easily come tomorrow.
Last thing I'm going to bring up is Justin Cooper, who's always been solid, right? He's always great qualifier, great starter, super consistent. I feel like I'm starting to see a little speed edge to him that we haven't seen before. Second moto at High Point, for example. Last week, right it off, first turn crash, he was spent before he even got to Moto 2. But I'm seeing a little more pace out of Justin Cooper. He's not just a consistent guy. He might be able to grab this now.
Which is exactly what he was trying to prove this year, I feel like. He didn't want to be the consistent guy. He didn't want to be compared to Ryan Dungey, even though that's kind of glorifying him in a way. But he wanted to come out and start winning these motos, and he's done that a little bit this year, but I still think he's trying to find that next step where he can go 1-1 on a weekend and prove that this is going to happen week in and week out.
And that is the missing thing for Cooper his whole career. He's been podium guy, but that stamp it 1-1, he was the fastest guy. No one could keep up with him. That's what he's searching for. Jet's trying to get that back. 250 class should be awesome. We have an awesome racetrack, rider's favorite. Going to be fun. So tune us in. We'll actually be live on NBC at 2 o'clock local time, if I have that right. And we'll be starting the motos at noon local. That's Central. And the 450s will race first as we move into a live NBC TV window. So check us out tomorrow or just watch everything on Peacock. They'll tell you when it's happening. All right, thanks to 6D, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. We'll see you tomorrow.